As you have seen, if you've tracked my career at all, I was that Navy chaplain who dared to pray in Jesus' name in my military uniform when the Navy said you can't do that. So I believe in religious expression, even in uniform. In fact, I have recently advocated for a Sikh's right to wear a turban in uniform. I think that's an appropriate request for religious accommodation. I've defended my Jewish sailor when I was in the Navy and his right to eat kosher food. We even invited atheists to come and teach our Bible study group. So we had interreligious dialogue, and I believe in religious expression, even for our uniformed members of the service. That said, I'm going to make an exception on this one, and I'm going to respectfully disagree with the Muslim female's request to wear a headscarf at all times while she is in uniform. Now, to get to the reason why, we should look at a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to talk about what Congress passed in the NDAA in 2013 and 2014. We were active. We sent petitions. We helped get that legislation through by influencing, I hope, some congressmen to put religious accommodations, literature, and laws into the statute to make sure that people get these accommodations. But there is an exception in that law, and that is when it causes, what do they call, a detriment to military readiness or unit cohesion. Which leads me to the second part of this. What is the idea of a Muslim headscarf? Now, it's different than a Christian or Jewish headscarf, honestly. It says in the Bible that Christians, in fact, women, should be encouraged to wear headscarves during prayers. So Christian women wear headscarves. There's nothing wrong with that. It's biblical. But in the Quran, the false prophet Muhammad said something different about the headscarf. He said it's okay to rape women who don't wear headscarves during times of war. Oh my gosh, did I say that out loud? Now, let me just read to you a quote from the Quran, a couple of quotes here. This is from Quran chapter 33 and verse 50. Muhammad said it's okay to rape women during war. Here's a direct quote. Muhammad said, O Prophet, lo, we have made lawful unto thee wives unto whom thou hast paid their dowries, and those whom thy right hand possesses as those whom Allah has given thee as spoils of war. In other words, you can have wives if you have paid their dowries. You can have wives if you seize them and kill their men during times of war. You can take those women, not just the women, and the daughters of thine uncle on thy father's side and the daughters of thine aunts on their father's side. You can even rape your nieces. Isn't that shocking in Islam? This is what he teaches. And a believing woman, if she gives herself to the prophet, and the prophet desires to ask her in marriage. In other words, don't rape a Muslim woman unless you marry her. And then it's a privilege only for you. So it's okay to rape your wife, but not a Muslim woman that you're not married to. So here's where it gets really complicated. Not for the rest of the believers, which were aware they enjoyed themselves and their wives. Those whom the right hand possesses during war, in other words, that you may be free from blame. You're not guilty if you rape someone that you seize during war, he says, for Allah is forgiving and merciful, and apparently very lenient on the crime of rape. That's just verse 50. Now let's go to verse 59. Why do they wear the burqa? Why do they wear the hijab, the headscarf? Because in verse 59, Muhammad said this, O Prophet, tell your wives and daughters and the women of the believers to draw their cloaks, their veils, all over their bodies so that they may be distinguished and not molested. Distinguished. Distinguished from whom? From the non-believers. In other words, if you're at war and you're looking out over the battlefield and you're wondering which women are safe to rape, you don't wear the women with headscarves because those are Muslims, and you do rape the women without headscarves because those are not Muslims. That's what Muhammad just said. Oh my God. So now here we are in 2016. The Citadel is thinking about letting a woman wear a headscarf with her military uniform as a symbol that the other women are open to be raped and she is not open to be raped by Muslims. That hijab is not during her times of prayer. It's all the time So, especially going to war, right? You wear your military uniform when you go to war. You're going to be on the battlefield, and it's a symbol to your Muslim enemies. We fight terrorists who are often Muslim. It's a symbol to them. Please don't rape me. Rape the other women in uniform because they're not wearing a headscarf. You've got to be kidding me. Do you think that theology, that Muslim interpretation of the Quran, which they hold, might be a detriment to good order and discipline in our ranks? Yes, it is. And so therefore, under the 2013 NDAA, that is an impermissible request, and it should be denied not only at the Citadel, but in the Armed Forces of the United States. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it.